my clapper is. I've misplaced it again.
Just here.
Otherwise, clack. There we go. Joe, edit one into my hands. There we go.
I'm not doing that this week. I already did the t-shirts last week. Ha. So Matt, you said you were at motocross this weekend, right? Is that?
Yeah. The race at. Oh god.
What is it called?
Hangtown. So.
Who came up with that name?
I mean, it was probably from like pioneer days. It's funny. It's one of those things that I never really thought about until this weekend, and I was like, oh,
"Why's
yeah.
that?"
I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like have you ever, Joe? What do they call like those white sleeveless undershirts?
Tank tops?
No. The colloquial name for him is wife beater, right? Like you've heard that before, right?
No, never.
You've never heard that before? Oh, well, that's another one of those things that's like a lot of people, you grow up saying that and then you never really think about what those words actually are, and you're like, oh yeah. But yeah, anyway, it's in Prairie City, California. I don't remember why it's called Hangtown. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Good time though. Had a really cool experience. So when we were standing, the way we do it is we buy general admission, and we just kind of like slowly make our way around the track as the day goes on. And so for the first 250 moto, we were standing in just like the general admission area right above the pits, and we're standing there, and there's like these three people sitting in front of us. It's like an older guy, a guy wearing like a Red Bull KTM polo shirt, and then a girl a couple years younger than me wearing like a jersey around her waist. And I couldn't tell whose it was. I couldn't read the name on it. And they're doing the rider intros, and for like top 5, and they go, from Granite Bay, California, it's Max Voland. And I like turned to my roommate, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I was like, I know Voland's from Sacramento area, but I always forget he's from Granite Bay, which is like the town right over from where I grew up. And the older guy in front of me kind of looks over at his shoulder at me for a second, and then turns around and he goes, yeah, it's my son. And I was like, hang on. Awesome. I hung out with Max Voland's dad for the first moto, so that was pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, that explains. I mean, he had his press pass or his pit pass and everything on the lanyard, and I was like, okay, that explains why the younger guy was wearing the Red Bull KTM shirt. And then I put 2 and 2 together, is the girl was wearing one of his jerseys around her waist, I think. So it was like his whole family. We just happened to be right behind him for the race. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So it was a good time. It was really, really, really hot.
Yeah.
Basically the whole time we were there. Actually, I have a bone to pick with my roommate. First off, we're at motocross. They give out free cans of Monster, which is pretty cool. And do you want to know what my roommate was drinking while we were there?
Red Bull?
A goddamn LaCroix. You can't go to motocross and drink LaCroix, Adam. I'm calling you out.
What if he just walked through that door behind you right now?
Yeah. I mean, it would probably be funny. I gave him shit while we were there, so.
Okay.
I was like, you can't be doing that. Come on.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, it was a good time. Jet Lawrence is really, really, really good at motocross, and I'm not sure I'm ready for the next decade of this. So.
Is he at least cool? Or is he like weird?
Oh, yeah, he's super cool.
Is he like the young race car drivers that aren't like really that cool? They're kind of like just, I'm a race car driver.
I think I can't remember if I've told this on the podcast, but like when I got back into Supercross last year, I was fully ready to hate Jet Lawrence because he's the prodigy. His name's Jet. He's just better than everybody else, and he's just like the funniest, most likable Australian kid I've ever seen.
Okay.
And he moved up to 450s for motocross, and he has hit all 4 hole shots, led every single lap, and won all 4 races. Like, he is just on another level already.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, is it just going to be like this for the next 10 years? Like, it's just the Jet Lawrence show now?
Yes.
So. Yeah, that was my motocross minute. So.
Cool. Yeah, Matt's motocross minute. Triple M.
Yeah.
That's a new short. Book it.
There you go.
Every week.
Mark it
just
down.
You. Motocross.
I could honestly ramble about moto for a while, so.
Well, you got a minute.
Actually, I could keep going because I got inspired from going to Hangtown. I have an old dirt bike. It's not running at the moment. It's from 1987. And so, of course, I can't find any of the carburetor rebuild parts, like O-rings, nothing. So I have been resigned to the fact that I'm going to have to buy a new carburetor for it, and I have no idea how to go about doing that. And so we went to the track, and I was like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to work on my dirt bike. This is going to be awesome. I was like, I'm just going to do it finally. And so I was kind of looking at it, and it wouldn't start as normal. And I was like, I don't know why. There was a little bit of work done on it. And I was like, oh, I've got a compression testing kit that I bought for my Bronco. I'm going to compression test this bitch and see what's up with it. And so I looked up online what people were doing. I looked at my spark plug, had a bunch of oil on it, and I was like, that's not good. 2 strokes aren't supposed to have oil on the spark plug. Probably piston rings going bad. Not stoked about that. And so I looked up compression testing it, and people were like, yeah, it should push out like 150 psi. If you're at like 120 to 140, you probably got bad piston rings. Do you want to know how many pounds that my test came out with?
75.
36.
Oh my god.
So it has basically no compression. And I was like, yeah, no wonder it doesn't start. So I've had the whole top end rebuild kit in my cart for the last 3 days because I've been thinking about it. And I was like, I don't know if that's something that's out of my wheelhouse mechanically. I don't have a garage. Like, I have a carport and a basement that I can work out of, but like, it's a lot of dust. And when you're working on your engine, you don't want dust everywhere. And so I looked at videos of people doing top end rebuilds on 2-stroke Yamahas, and it's like the easiest job in the world. It's literally just like drain the coolant, 4 bolts, pistons right there. You don't even have to take the motor out of the engine. And I was like, okay, I could totally do that in a day. And then my roommate's like, why don't I ask my parents if we can use their garage? And I was like, all right, sick. Well, guess I'm spending like $200 or $300 in dirt bike parts, and I'm just gonna knock it out in a weekend. So, and then probably die because I haven't ridden in like 8 years.
Wear a helmet, you know.
Yeah, obviously.
And
it's not my head; it's the rest of me that I'm worried about.
You'll be fine.
So, yeah. So,
Hangtown.
Yeah.
Is that what you do when you see another guy like that likes dirt bikes? That like when you know how like the Jeeps, do you have the little Jeep wave?
Yeah, the little Jeep wave. So when we went to Oakland back in like February, every time like our group would slightly separate, anytime anybody in our group would see each other, we do that, but with the metal sound. That was our way of picking each other out in a crowd. So, yeah.
Almost
anyway.
Our party.
Yeah.
Our party. Anyway, this is Fake Racers Podcast. We're down Davey Hazard tonight. No Davey.
Yeah.
He was busy. So
I have to actually put in effort on the podcast tonight.
Kidding.
So.
Can't just let Davey carry us.
Can't just ride the wave of inertia from Davey.
Davey having a hot take on something that he has no reason to have a hot take on. And I know he'll listen to this and he'll hear that. And next week he will come at me for that comment. But that's why we love him.
Yeah.
But so yeah, let's start at the end. The NASCAR Cup Series was at Gateway. Litany of problems. We can talk about those. But Kyle Busch wins his third race of the season. I don't know if there's a lot to say about it. Won stage 1, had a pretty good car all day. Maybe this is one that Ryan Blaney threw away because Blaney's car was also very good, but it really felt like it was a lot about track position at Gateway once again this year.
Yeah, that was kind of the feeling on those last few restarts. It was like if Larson could get him out of turn 2 just one of those times, he might have been able to pull away, but it really just seemed like Kyle Busch was in control as soon as he got the lead. I thought it was a really fun race. I know there was a lot of problems, but when it was actually green, there was some really good battles throughout all the field. Just Kyle Busch and RCR are kind of really good right now.
I don't even know if that they're good. Anywhere that they ran good last year, Kyle's won pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? Like
because I remember a lot. We talked about a lot over the last year that Kyle Busch hasn't really been Kyle Busch over the last few years. You know, it's been one win and then kind of scraping their way to other good runs throughout the year, and like he looks like prime Kyle Busch again right now.
I mean, this was his last year. Gateway was his last good run with Joe Gibbs Racing. It feels like, right?
Yeah.
Like it. I think they finished second or third at Pocono and they got DQ'd or something. I think they were part of that DQ. But obviously Hamlin won the race and got DQ'd and it went to Chase and kind of slipped under the radar. But so I don't know. I mean, it's good for Kyle. It's good for RCR. They're making good on the investment that they've put into the 8 team going into this year, right? It felt like maybe that wasn't going to be the case when Tyler Reddick suddenly announced that he was going to be leaving after this year, and then it ended up, timelines get moved and whatnot. But, yeah, I don't know if he's going to win the road courses where the 8 was good, because Tyler Reddick's still really good at road course racing. But
that might just be a Tyler Reddick thing. Yeah.
But I mean, Kyle finished second at Coda. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, he did. Yeah, I forgot about
that. But pretty much, if the 8 car was good somewhere last year, it's probably a good bet that it'll be good again this year, I think, is what we're getting at. So
yeah.
Austin Cindric supposedly intentionally wrecked Austin Dillon. No penalty came of this. We're recording on Wednesday.
RCR car.
Yeah, so from the highlight to a low light. Austin Dillon had a really weird interview.
Yeah.
With, I think it was the front stretch, maybe. I didn't see
where
it.
They got together? Yeah, it was going into
TV.
turn 1.
Yeah.
It was... So, I feel like if what happened last week didn't happen, or 2 weeks... Or no, yeah, last week, then this probably wouldn't have been a big deal, because, like, it was very clearly just 2 guys going for the same spot, I mean, this was an observation I kind of had, is I feel like a lot of people watching the races don't know that drivers don't race and far chase in real life. Because, like, I'm sure Austin Dillon knew there were 2 outside. Austin Cindric ran, I won't say low, but there was room high, so he probably did the math in his head. This is how high I can come up. He came up. Cindric was there. Contact, and he wrecked. And I feel like in his mind, he probably thinks that Cindric came down, and there were a couple of camera angles live that did look like he moved down a little bit, but it never looked like Dillon wasn't moving up. So I thought it was just like it's clear cut, just 2 guys, went into the same real estate going in on corner entry, and it sucked. And then because of what happened with Chase Elliott last week, everybody, including the guys
Austin
involved,
Dillon and
were
Richard
like,
Childress.
Yeah, we're like, well, what the hell? So
he hit me in the right rear. He must have tried to do that intentionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Like when all the announcers were talking about it, I was like, all right, you guys are just doing your job. And like, if you don't say it on TV, everybody's going to be like, well, what about this? Nobody's so they're trying to get ahead of the story. But then to hear Austin Dillon and Richard Childress get in on it, and it was like, all right, you guys need to chill.
And I mean, the 3 struggled this year compared to last year. I don't think they've had the same amount of speed. I don't know why that is. Austin's had a lot of really good runs going. I mean, he had a good run going this past weekend before that happened.
I was going to say, yeah, he ran like 10th or 11th basically all day, it seemed like.
But they're not finishing races like they have in the past. Austin Dillon is a great race car driver because he can have a 20th place car and finish 12th. So that level of frustration has to be ramping up for the 3 team.
Yeah.
Knowing that Kyle's got 3 wins and they still don't have one on the board, and as we trend through the summer, it's going to look like they're going to be in a similar situation as they were last year.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of, tail end of 2021 and early last year, where like he ran really well in 2021, and then the late summers when it all came unglued and they missed the playoffs. And then last year, it seemed like he was running really well at the start of, or like again through like the first half of the year, and then they just couldn't finish out races. And that's kind of what it's felt like a lot this year. So, and it doesn't help too that Kyle Busch is, on the other side of the garage with 3 wins and is looking like
it's Kyle Busch.
Yeah. And this reminds me too of something I was talking about on Twitter, where there's like a narrative from some people. I want to make it clear I'm not calling anybody out in our friends circle here, because I know we have Eric Almirola fans, and I will clarify this. But I've noticed a general narrative that like people trying to make Eric Almirola out as a better driver than he is, and I'm like, he's fine, he's average, and that's how I think Austin Dillon is. He's like a perfectly average NASCAR driver.
I'd put Austin Dillon ahead of Eric Almirola though.
I would too. Yeah.
I mean, who won that Daytona 500?
Yeah, true. They're in like the same kind of category, like Dillon, Suarez. You could put Alex Bowman in there. Eric Almirola. I love Alex Bowman, but like
I don't know if I'd put him in there because I think he's better than all those guys.
I think he's at the top of this category.
Margin.
Yeah, if you have your top talent, and then you have
the next category.
Yeah, he's at if there's like the A tier, which is like Kyle Busch,
Chase Elliott, Larson,
Denny Hamlin, Lars, all those guys. And then you have your next one, which is like, guys like Chastain and Byron who are still working their way up. I think Alex Bowman's like towards the bottom of that or very top of the category below that, which is like these guys are good. They are relatively good at what they do. Austin Dillon has a ride, obviously, because he is a good race car driver, and it helps that his grandfather is.
That helped him get his foot in the door.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if he wasn't performing well enough,
he'd be going down the Ty Dillon route. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
poor Ty.
Austin, he's okay.
Yeah. He's okay. I used to like him a lot. I was like, oh, Austin Dillon's cool, and then I don't know, he went to Cup, and I was like, never mind. Yeah,
I honestly kind of like him more in Cup now. I think he's a cool dude. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
I want to see him be successful, and I think I'm at the point now where for the last 5 years, I'm like, this is when he's finally gonna do it. There's been times in 2020 and 2021 where I was like, Austin Dillon, dude, he's getting there. We're finally starting to see it, and now I'm just like. I don't know, he's like a Ken Schrader type,
Nothing wrong with that. People love Ken Schrader.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, there's a lot of drivers that we look back on in history, your Ken Schraders or whatever, that at the time, if Twitter existed, people would be like, why is Ken Schrader still at Hendrick? Nowadays, we're like, he's pretty cool.
He's a cool dude.
So, yeah. I got really off topip. Oh my god.
I have an Austin Dillon story, though, before we transition.
Okay.
Because you say he's a cool dude, right? He's a cool dude. So we were at MIS in the little garage area, not in the garage area, but they have a little area where the drivers walk by to get back to the coach lot and whatever.
Yeah.
And you can see them working in the garage, but you can't physically go in the garage. And Austin Dillon came out, and my friend is really into French bulldogs. And Austin Dillon brought his French bulldog Gucci out.
Oh my gosh.
And so my friend has never let that story go. He still talks about that to this day. About getting to pet Gucci and how he's not an Austin Dillon fan, he's a Gucci fan.
That's so awesome.
So, I don't know. Yeah. He's a cool dude. Cool dude. So,
yeah.
It was a little weird. And our number one rule is don't be weird. So.
Weird response, but go off,
Especially because Austin Cindric was so funny last weekend. But,
yeah.
Ryan Blaney looked good again. Didn't really cover the deal. We kind of touched on that. I felt like last week was the breakthrough to win. Maybe just didn't have the car this week. I'm not looking at it as a return to normalcy or anything. I just think it's something to watch.
We got a whole lot of racing still to go. So
yeah.
I mean, I feel like I talk about him way too much, but when I compared it to the Kyle Larson breakthrough in 2021. We all forget Larson won at Las Vegas and then had 6 races in a row that he dominated and didn't win, and then went on his tear down the last part. So
yeah. TV went out, radio went out, SMT went out, the internet went out, and people are not happy.
Yeah, they
were quick to make fun. Shout out to MRN for playing, I don't know, 1993 AC Delco 500 or something on the radio. Because I was listening to the radio, and then all of a sudden they're talking about Ken Schrader and Sterling Marlin, and I'm like, wait a minute.
You're like, Harry Gant would come out of retirement to do this.
To run Gateway.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny too, because it was I think it was right after Hocevar had his brake failure, wasn't it?
That sounds right.
Yeah, and initially people were like, "Did his brakes take out the
TV
the power?" Yeah, which I thought was kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say about it, other than no. Oh, actually, no. It is kind of relevant because Corey LaJoie had a terrible day.
We hyped him up last week too.
3 out of 4. Or I think it was him and Larson both unloaded just horrible, and there was somebody posted, I think it was Bob Pockris, but he was trying to explain what was happening, and Alan Gustafson was like, dude, I got no data, I can't help you very much. I'm doing as much as I can. So for all races to have that happen, of course, it's got to be when Corey LaJoie gets his break.
I don't know if they were getting that car right though.
Yeah, it just looked terrible. He was stuck in the midfield the whole time, which sucks too.
You think he got paid decent to run that car? I hope he did.
I think he did. Yeah,
hope he did.
I would not doubt it. I did see some people, semi-jokingly, but I'm sure there's some people who think it like, oh, maybe they sabotaged him because they don't want Corey LaJoie to knock Chase Elliott out of the playoff. I'm like, if that's the case, you wouldn't have called Corey LaJoie up.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, at the end of the day, Hendrick doesn't really, like, money-wise, Hendrick doesn't care if Chase Elliott doesn't make the playoffs. They care more that the 9 car itself doesn't make the playoffs. And I believe right now the 9's probably in. I don't think Josh Berry was that bad in his relief duty.
He ran pretty well. Yeah. They didn't always have the finishes, but yeah.
No. So, like, that, at the end of the day, money-wise and point standing-wise, like I said last week, if it ends up Chase Elliott does not make the drivers' playoffs, we are going to hear a lot about the Owners' Championship this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, we heard a lot about it last year. Think about this year.
It's in Hendrick's best interest for their cars to run good no matter who's racing them. And, exactly. If they could have gone so many different directions. They could have called up Jimmy Johnson. It's not like Jimmy Johnson's under contract with somebody else. He owns the team.
Yeah, but he's going to be Toyota next year. I don't think they called Jimmy.
Yeah. But there were options. There were other Truck Series drivers they could have called. They could have called up Grant Enfinger like we talked about.
Christian Eckes.
They could have done Hocevar too if they wanted, but they didn't because they were like, we like Corey LaJoie. Junior almost signed him to an Xfinity ride. Let's bring him in and see what he can do. So
that's a big.
It's just unfortunate.
What if Corey LaJoie ran the 88 for Dale?
Yeah.
There was penalty. Legacy Motor Club. Eric Jones's greenhouse was broken or something. Was outside. I think it's an L1 penalty, 60 points, 2-week suspension to Dave Ellens.
The disaster class continues. It's oh my god.
I mean, he hit one of his pick guys this weekend. I just remembered that too.
Some like Tommy Joe Martin's level stuff going on right now.
Oh, got a story there too. But yeah, I mean, it's Legacy. They cannot wait for the year to turn to 2024, can they?
Yeah. Because didn't Gregson get a penalty recently too, or am I imagining that?
I don't think so, but he hasn't been good.
Yeah.
But now Eric Jones is behind Ty Dillon in points. So.
Oh wait, I was gonna say I forgot. Chase Briscoe got a penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Eric's behind Chase Briscoe. Is Eric the lowest full-time driver?
He's right above him. So it's.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, this is depressing. Okay. So you have Eric Almirola 25th. Okay. Then you have Priest right behind him. Chase Elliott 27th, having missed like 5 races now.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's missed 7.
Yeah.
He's ahead of Harrison Burton.
Yeah.
Then you have Austin Dillon, who I believe had a penalty.
He had a 100-point penalty, I think. Yeah.
So he would be 18th right now. So he's actually having a decent year.
Yeah.
Then it's Eric Jones. Then it's Chase Briscoe. Then it's Noah Gragson. And Ty Dillon's behind all of them.
Are you sure that's updated?
I believe so.
That NASCAR.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Kyle Busch has... Where's Kyle Busch in the standings? Hang on. There he is. Yeah, he's got 3 wins on here.
We'll just assume.
Yeah. But yeah, Harrison Burton and Ty Dillon, that's embarrassing.
Harrison Burton especially. He's got to get it figured out.
That's bad.
They're figuring it out. They'll get it. They'll get it figured out. It just, you don't want to see anyone run bad, right?
No.
End of the day.
Yeah, and I like Harrison Burton. I'm not going to come over here and crap on him. I know this is not what he wanted, obviously, and I know he's capable of more, but yeesh. So.
End of the day, no one wants to be where they are, really, unless you're the champion or the race winner.
Yeah.
So. I was going to say, I guess not nobody, but someone's good with where they are. The Xfinity Series was out in Portland. We're gonna go to Portland, then we're gonna come back to Gateway, and then we'll go to Detroit. So that's kind of geography lesson tonight. Cole Custard wins. Wowza! What a finish! That was pretty fun.
He needed that.
He needed that.
Yeah.
Needed
Yeah,
it.
we've been kind of, Auto Club, everybody, there was all that hype that he was going to be good, and then he was, and then wrecked. And it's like, okay, but it's still Cole Custer. He was super good in Xfinity, and he has been just invisible
Mid.
this year.
Mid.
I've genuinely forgotten that he was running Xfinity. Like, I saw him on TV last week, and I was like, oh yeah, Cole Custer.
They got the 00 back.
Yeah. So I feel like I had more to say. I don't know. He needed that though. Great run, great finish. Just go all around fun race. So
I have my next note as Jeb Burton needs to calm down. Did you see this?
Dude, speaking of weird, Chandler Smith had one of my favorite posts
amazing.
of the year.
That was amazing.
So good. And so for reference, he had some kind of beef with Chandler Smith. Not the first time he's beefed with a colleague driver this year, which, I wonder why. I wonder if there's still some hurt feelings there between him and his former
remember,
team.
to be fair to him, they did tell him that, oh yeah, Nutrien Ag is leaving the team and we can't keep you in the car, and then magically Nutrien Ag was still on the car. That was the story.
I'm almost getting the impression that like Colleague were kind of over him.
Yeah.
It almost seems like they're like, this ain't working, And I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. This is just pure speculation by me. I'm not going to say anything about Jeb Burton because I don't know him. But I will say that his reaction this week was really weird, and it kind of adds fuel to that flame that it's like, it seems really personal. Because he gets into a scuffle with Chandler Smith, and there were some punches thrown, and I think he got his forearm onto Chandler Smith's head a couple times, but fist never made contact with face, like he claimed, and made all these claims that Chandler Smith got his ass whooped and had to go to the infield care center, and he was crying like a baby or whatever. And like Chandler Smith put out a video that basically showed that none of that is true. Yeah. Curb Your Enthusiasm him. And like, Jeb Burton just kept going on about it on Twitter afterwards. Like, he's just flat lying about it. It's so weird. I don't get it. Just bizarre. I feel like I had, what was it? Something else I was thinking. Something about like, it seems like I don't want to go too much into stereotypes, but like, he was like, oh, don't mess with a country boy. And I was like, I mean, of the country boys I know, they would definitely lie about fights they got into. So that seems on brand. But it's just bizarre. I don't understand it at all.
It's weird.
So
it's just weird. And hey, it's just weird.
Yep.
Don't be weird. John Hunter Nemechek and Sheldon Creed. Good show of respect after. I think John Hunter ran Sheldon off the track at the end of stage 2. I think it was.
He spun him for the lead.
And then I think
if I had a nickel for every time Sheldon Creed got spun from the lead coming to the end of a stage at a road course, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. Or sorry, this year. It's the second time it's happened this year.
So, Sheldon Creed, but good show of respect there. They both talked about it. Sheldon Creed was like, yeah, I don't know why he came over to talk to me. I mean, I got him back, so we're good on my end. It's like, okay.
Dude, I don't know what racing god Sheldon Creed pissed off in the last 2 years, but this is getting absurd. Like,
dude, he's never gonna win a race, is he?
It's every move over, Daniel Hemrick. Your position has been taken.
Yeah, but Sheldon Creed actually won something in the truck series.
That's true. He has won races, so. Oh my god.
Daniel Hemrick has won.
Pain.
Still.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. His engine just lighting on fire. Yeah. While they're under caution, and he's like, hey guys, I'm on fire. They're like, coming back to green.
His crew is there like, damn, bro, good luck with that. That sucks, man.
I just don't get it. I know those Gibbs cars he ran that year were good, but Daniel Hemrick always had a little bit of talent. It's skill.
I don't know what it is, but it's just like, and it's every time he does run well with Colleague, dumb shit like this happens. where he just spontaneously combusts, or
Well, I
like
mean,
one of
even
these
with
weeks,
Gibbs,
like his windshield's gonna fall off or something.
I remember Kyle Busch wrecked him for the lead at Atlanta, trying to push him into the lead when he
Dude,
was with Gibbs.
That was the race where I was like, he's never gonna win. Like it literally doesn't matter what he does because the racing gods will decide. No, it's not your turn, Daniel.
I guess that is now Sheldon Creed's cross to bear.
Yeah, I mean he literally won that race, and then the next Daytona is when Sheldon Creed moved up, and it's like, here, it's yours now to experience nothing but eternal pain.
Hey, but at least he'll get to be in an RCR car for a year before he gets kicked out of it or whatever.
God. I still genuinely forget about that season.
That was 2020, right?
2019.
Was it 19?
Yeah, because Reddick was a rookie in 2020.
What did he do in... he did a part-time deal with
Junior Motorsports. Yeah.
I forget he was only part-time in 2020.
He ran most of the season, if I remember. It was like he ran like 20-something races, and there was like... I'm pretty sure Sheldon Creed ran a race in that car. Jeb Burton, I think, was running it as well. So, yeah, he ran the majority of the season.
Yeah. Completely forgot. My brain goes brown.
Yeah.
But, yeah. The trucks were at Gateway. Grant Enfinger won.
Yeah.
Ty Majeski and Zane Smith decided to crash.
Yeah, Majeski kind of yeeted it, and
he
didn't work out.
Dominating that race too.
Yep.
I don't know. It was the truck series. I don't know how much we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Young's Motorsports has old window nets. We found out today too.
What was that?
Got a penalty. Their window net was too old.
Oh, yeah.
Safety.
Yeah, I don't know. There was one other notable truck series thing, but we're not talking about that. So
what?
A certain somebody going on a rant on Twitter and also got penalized for bad window nets one time.
Tim Veens.
Yeah.
Just say his name.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, Tim Veens. Okay, there we go.
What a hypocrite.
We haven't been bleeping out the F-bombs, okay?
IndyCar was on the streets of Detroit, not Belle Isle. Still a little upset about that, but
yeah.
Alex Palou won on 2 drag strips and a couple corners. I didn't watch any of this race. I was at my brother's graduation.
Parts of that track looked straight up sketchy. Like, it's so narrow on certain parts of it.
I feel like I should go down there and do a video driving around the track just for fun. And be like, hey guys, this is not good. Because it's not. The way they have it laid out, the idea is to get it to go around the Renaissance Center, which is that big the GM building, right?
Yeah.
Where General Motors is headquartered in downtown Detroit. And it's cool. It's cool to do that. But I feel like the track they chose wasn't executed very well.
Yeah, the layout is like ultra simple. Like the backdrop looks cool, but there are parts of it like where
I mean those two the long straightaway, I think it's on the Jeffries freeway.
Yeah.
Just why?
It was basically built back when when F1 ran Detroit back in the 80s. I didn't even realize it was basically the same streets, just like a different layout. Yeah, like the corner that Rahal wrecked under caution, like it's so narrow. I can't believe that was the track design they came up with.
Like, map again.
It's just bizarre. Yeah.
Oh, this is a local 4.
Yeah, not their best layout though.
No. I
get there's logistical issues with Belle Isle, but
they're not even logistical issues. It's just so for a long time the Belle Isle Conservatory Group that acts as like the protectorates of the nature and the beauty of Belle Isle just did not like the Grand Prix being on Belle Isle because of the noise, because it's the early summer and it closes down the island for a week or two. Which I get it, but just where they had this track set up, it's just, there isn't a lot of like good, you know what I mean? There's not a lot that they can do to, I don't know.
Yeah, it's basically just a square.
Yeah. I didn't get to go. Like I said, I didn't get to watch. I didn't get to go to it. I only read things. It's cool that it's downtown. You don't. So before you had to take a shuttle to Belle Isle from an offsite parking.
Yeah.
At the Huntington place. I don't know if you still have the map open, but now it's right next to there.
I forgot there's only one bridge that goes there.
Yeah. So that sucked.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, it's just the layout's weird. It's just not a good layout. Maybe it gets better next year. You know, I'm gonna try to go next year if it's still downtown. I don't know if they've confirmed that it'll be downtown again or not. I would assume it will be because it's gonna be hard to get back on Belle Isle.
Yeah. The thing that gets me about it is like there's no interesting corners. It's all just hairpins or 90s, you know, with one chicane kind of thrown in there. And like sometimes that can work, but typically like a street circuit needs to have some kind of flowing corner somewhere.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of when F1 ran in Phoenix, and it was just like 90-degree corners was basically the whole layout, and everybody hated it. And it reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah.
So, but just narrower. So, I mean, it wasn't a terrible race. There were some good battles, but the track was just not IndyCar's best work.
The zipper pit lane, did that work? I honestly did not see.
There weren't any incidents. It's like cool. I mean, it's just
different,
you know, out of necessity, kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, but
but yeah, I mean, the whole idea. I mean, it's Chevrolet sponsors it. They want it around their building. You know, the Belle Isle Grand Prix was a big part of like the revitalization of Detroit too.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's all part of it. But yeah, I don't know. It was cool though. They did offer free viewing. Like you could have went down there on Sunday for free.
Oh, that's cool. I'm assuming just for like general admission.
Yeah. I don't. There wasn't like a grandstand or anything. Like you'd be standing there, but for free to go down. This race historically has not made money. Believe it or not, like the race itself has not made money.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, because I can imagine like with all of the like hurdles to set up Belle Isle, I can't see.
Well, even
this year, I could understand that would be not very profitable.
Yeah. I know a lot of other races have volunteers and stuff, but this one really relies a lot on volunteers and
yeah.
It's more so supposed to be an economic event for the city of Detroit, which it has done a pretty good job of being and doing. I mean, it's probably part of the reason why they were able to get the NFL draft downtown, and they got SummerSlam this year with WWE and just a bunch of other big events. So
yeah,
I don't know,
a little bit of a Detroit revival.
I like my city, you know. Yeah. But yeah, so wish the track layout could be better. I don't know how you can improve it looking at the area that they're in, but I don't know, could get better with the years too, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
But that's about all we have this week. We want to preview next weekend because the Xfinity and the Cup Series are at Sonoma. You're not going to Sonoma. That's
thought about it. I found out that Tommy and Jack, friends of the show, are going, but I was like, I'm kind of spending a lot of money on aforementioned dirt bike parts, and maybe I want to wait out on that. So,
how far of a drive is it for you?
Like 2 hours at most. It's not very far. It's like, I mean, it takes me about 2 hours to get to the coast, and that's, you know, it's not very far from there, so it's a couple hours, but
okay.
Yeah, it would be doable. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to spend money on that right now.
Right.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
But Xfinity Series is there Saturday. Cup Series is there Sunday.
I forgot they're not doing the truck race.
No truck race this year. So,
I did see the Penske merch hauler going or on its way when I was on my way home. Yeah, so that was like the only thing I've seen so far. So
got Harrison Burton just randomly on there too, right?
Yeah, that honestly that was the thing that caught my eye was like his car on like the side of it, and I was like, oh hey, and then like all the other Penske ones after it.
Oh, that's right, he's on that team. Huh? Yeah, he's part of that.
How about that?
Interesting. But yeah, who you got for Xfinity?
Ooh, damn, I should have been prepared for this.
AJ's in this race. Ross is in this race. I forget what other Cup guys are in this race. There's like a lot of Cup guys. Kyle Larson.
It's gonna happen. It's Sheldon Creed's time. It's his home track, I think. I'm pretty sure Sheldon Creed's from California. Hang on.
Well, now you gotta take him. You're taking him no matter what.
Yeah, I'm taking him anyway. He's from Alpine. I don't know where Alpine is, but that's where he's from.
Jesus. I'm gonna go ahead and take Parker Kligerman because Davey's not here and I miss him.
See, I was okay. I was gonna make the like I'll do Davey's pick for him, Parker Kligerman.
Nope. Davey's gonna take Kyle Larson.
Yeah, that seems like.
Is he he'll take
17?
Allmendinger. Oh, okay. He'll take Allmendinger.
That'd be good.
You think he'll take Allmendinger for Cup too? Probably.
Ryan Preece.
Oh, he's gonna take Ryan Preece for Cup. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you have for Cup?
Damn it, Kamui Kobayashi's not running yet. Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Kamui Kobayashi's running a Cup race, right, and I'm pretty sure I said that should happen like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, on the Indy Road Course too.
Yeah, I might have to go back to make sure. When I was mentioning like road ringers, I'm pretty sure I said Kamui Kobayashi.
You want to go to Indy in August?
I might. Who do I want for Sonoma? I'll take the obvious pick. I'll take Kyle Larson. So
dang,
yeah,
heavy hitter. Davey's got Ryan Preece, so I can't pick him. I was gonna pick him.
Just gonna steal all of his picks.
I'm gonna take a guy that has to win. It's Austin Cindric, man. He's got to win.
Yeah,
I feel like we're starting to creep into that territory.
Yeah.
Plus, if he wins this week, no one's gonna talk about what happened last week.
Oh, he is 19th in points. Do you think Corey LaJoy like this week has been like, hey, by the way, if you guys still need anything, Rick, I'll be here. You know how to get in touch with me.
Probably.
Just, let me know.
Sorry it didn't go too well, but
yeah.
Hey, I didn't.
Yeah, sorry to work, but like,
I didn't intentionally wreck someone.
You guys doing anything later?
I mean, William Byron and Kyle Larson, they're still clean. Yeah.
With Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman both getting hurt, do you think like the other two guys are like, all right, let's just not do anything?
Well, Kyle Larson's still racing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure William Byron is racing Money in the Bank right now at Berlin. So.
Oh God.
Or maybe it's next week. It might be next week. It might not be tonight.
I wonder if that's ever happened where every driver on the team missed races.
I mean, are the 9 and the 48 in the same shop?
I think the 48's with the 5.
48's with the... Are you... Because the 48 is the 88, and the 5 is the 48. Yeah. Yep.
That's annoying things where it's like Hendrick can't stop switching everything. Because the 48 now, it's not the old 48, it's the old 88, which used to be the old 24, which was paired with the old 48, which is now the 5.
Yeah.
And
so Chase is the old 24, who is paired with the old 5, which is the 24 now.
And the old 24 was originally the old 5. And the 24 now is the old 5, which used to be the 20, or which used to be the 88, which used to be the 25.
Wait, hold on.
Because William Byron's team is
Casey Kane's team.
It
was Casey Kane's team.
Yeah, old Casey Kane team. Which when they did their whole scramble in 2010, that's when Mark Martin got Dale Jr.'s old crew and Lance McGrew and everybody.
That's right.
And that team, the old 88 team, used to be the 25. So what Jerry Nadeau, his spirit still lives on, is what I'm saying. He's not dead. He's just
that's why William Byron's got 3 wins this year.
Yeah.
Sure.
So all I'm asking, just give Jerry a shout out, William. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, kind of.
Folks, we can't thank you enough for listening to us ramble about stuff every week. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe, do all those things that you can to help support us. It does mean a lot. We can't thank you enough for doing those things. You remember you can follow us at Fake Racers on Twitter. Davey usually makes the posts when new episodes go live and stuff. So hopefully this serves as his reminder to do that. You want to trash Davey at all before we go? Anything? He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, true. But he is going to hear this probably. His mom's probably going to hear this. So.
Yeah.
I have gotten a strongly worded message from Davey's mom before.
Have you?
Well, it happened on the show when I said something about Joey Logano fans, and then Davey said that his mom had a bone to pick with me about it.
Oh,
so.
Okay. Okay.
I think we're friends on Facebook. Hang on.
Now we love Davey.
Yeah.
But yeah, he couldn't make it this week, which was unfortunate. But I had broadcast the last 2 nights.
Yeah, it is what it is. So
6 straight nights of doing something on the computer.
Ew. I feel that.
But again, folks, like, follow, subscribe, do all those things at Johto Network, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and yeah. See you guys next week after we go drink some wine.
Goodbye.